come on. And I didn't know this much about Ryan, but a cool fact for you guys. Not only does she know in theory how to castrate a pig, but she knows in practice as well. And Ryan, by the way, as a district manager, got national recognition for her student retention and her on-campus activity. Obviously, she needs no further introduction other than the fact that she knows how to castrate a pig. So let's bring her on up here, Miss Ryan.
And she said, really? Yeah. Really? I am from a small town. Alright. Just when I thought it was going to be really hard to follow Whitman. I do love my job. I love working with all you guys, especially Ben. And I hope that you guys even know after I talk what I'm going to talk about. I hope you retain something besides the whole pig castration thing. But yes, I grew up in a small town, and as part of the ag project, I did castrate a pig. So. Well, I'm going to talk to you guys about retaining your reps and using some of the tools you already have to promote sales and, of course, retain your representatives. I'm going to touch a little bit on campus as I go through some of these things, but I'm not going to talk totally about campus. I'm going to talk about retaining your reps and getting more sales. A lot of what Jonathan talked about I thought was really great, and he touched on a lot of retention stuff, which is good. And I'm going to touch on some of that stuff as well. I started in John Appleberry's office. Some of you guys know that. And any of you guys that came from John's office, you probably know the answer to this question. What's the only thing that's better than Cutco?
Free Cutco.
Free Cutco. As a manager, you always want to increase your sales. And contests are really cool. They're great to help increase your sales. But I'm going to talk to you guys about some free ways to increase your sales. You don't have to use contests to increase sales or get retention or get them excited about doing more stuff. I think that you guys also know Rita. Recruiting is the answer. Not only is recruiting the answer, but I think retention is really the answer as well. Jonathan mentioned that too. His first summer he recruited 90-something people and had great PPR. And this past summer, 200 or 300 people and had great PPR. So which one would you rather do? Retain them, keep them around. So recruit them and retain them. Those are both definitely answers. When you retain them, it makes the business a lot more fun. As you can tell, Jonathan has a ton of fun with his people. It creates development. It creates people that are building those layers in Jonathan's office. Sales leaders create more sales for you. You have those human trophies to talk about in training up on your wall, the names, everything. And it, of course, increases your PPR automatically. When they stay longer, they sell. Ryan Huggins talked about this. What do you mean you came to team and you haven't sold anything? You know, when they're there, it's going to create the culture of you have to do something if you're a part of the team. So retaining them, of course, is great. And the power promotion is free to talk about all the great things that are out there. The first thing that you can promote to your people is College Bowl. You guys have all heard of this thing that we do. It's called College Bowl. Most of your reps don't realize that they're competing for their schools because you guys don't talk about College Bowl very much. But College Bowl is in the newsletter every week, which makes it easy to talk about. It's on Vector Connect every Friday. The new report comes out, which should also make it easy for you to see the entire standings. And promote your schools. If you have a school on there, promote your school that's on there. If you have one school on there and there's 5 schools in your territory, promote all your schools. And promote to your students, hey, these guys made it on there for University of Texas. Where are my ACC students? Hey, why aren't you guys on there? Come on, we got to get up there. UT students aren't better than you. Create some competition in your office between your schools and get everybody on there. Watch it early as well. Some of your schools, the bigger schools are tough to beat sometimes. Somebody mentioned to me earlier that UT seems kind of nowhere to win College Bowl this time. Yeah, there's 50,000 students at UT. They're going to sell a lot of Cutco because there's 50,000 of them. Okay, school has got 5,000 students. Probably not going to sell as much Cutco as bigger schools, but a lot of times your small schools are on there early. So get those standings early and start promoting early to your reps to get their school on there or to keep their school up there. Or you can create your own College Bowl competition among your schools. You can add their sales. You guys are intelligent people. You know where your people go to school. You can add them up and you can do your own College Bowl competition in your office. You don't have to get a prize. They just do brag rights. That's all they need. They don't need a prize. Give them those brag rights and promote it every week. Talk about it in their team meetings. Talk about it in the welcome talk. Okay, I just wanted to stuff on my walls. Hey, look at my top 5. Look where these guys all go to school. Look at the top 5 of the campaign. Look where they all go to school. Hey, right now our McMurray University students are selling more than everybody else, but ACU is going to catch up. So promote the different schools, and they're going to get fired up about being tied in to something else. The other easy thing to promote is All-American Scholarship. Get your top rep focused on it. It's that simple. Okay, it doesn't matter if they're close or they're far away, and especially early in the competition. I used to write my people in on the bottom of the list. The newsletter always shows the top however many. I would write my top person in there. Hey, when are you going to be in the number 1? Hey, look, you're a few $1,000s behind number 30. You're close. When are you going to get there? I never had somebody win the scholarship, but they were always excited. They always wanted to strive for that. That was something that was really cool that they wanted to look forward to. Again, promote it at meetings, promote it in training, and promote that the top person gets $1,000 donated to their school. That's a pretty cool thing. Okay? Like I said, I never had anybody win scholarship money, but it's nice for them to know that it's out there, and it's great for you to push them and promote that it's there and they're that close. And a lot of times you're the reason that drives them. When you say, hey, you're just out of the top 30, suddenly it becomes real because you believe in that. They look up to you, they love you. That's why they keep coming back to this weird knife selling job. Okay? They like you, and if you believe in them, they'll start to believe in themselves, and you never know what they'll accomplish because just once you said, hey, you can do this. Think about what your manager says when you go out to you. Tie them into the newsletter. Use the newsletter. We put the newsletter out each week, and it's got some great stuff in there. One thing that I did is I would highlight a sales rep's name every time they appeared in the newsletter, and I would write a personal note to them on the front of the newsletter. And I made a big deal at the team meeting. We would go through the newsletter and who was on it and what people were selling, be it in our office or outside of the office. And the people that were on the newsletter got this special newsletter with a special note on it. And they would save them, and they would show them to their customers. And they would, tell me they put it on a wall. I thought that was kind of crazy, but I was like, it's just no me. But they're like, oh my gosh, I put it up on my door. And the people down the hall asked me what it was, and I told them my job's awesome. Okay? It means a lot to them. So make the newsletter special. Make getting on the newsletter special. I mean, tell them there's hundreds of reps all across the region, and you got on it. You worked hard and you got on the newsletter. You're a big deal. Okay? So get them excited and let them know that it is a big deal. When I did the personal notes, I would always make a comment on the pages that they weren't on. Things that I wanted them to do. Like the All-American. When are you going to be All-American? Why were you a weekend warrior? You made it for you didn't make weekend warrior. Let's make sure that you're a weekend warrior next week too. Hey, when are you going to be field training? Hey, when are you going to be number 1 weekend warrior? Whatever it was, promote the results that you want, whatever maybe they didn't hit. And there were a lot of times, especially when I was a new manager, that I didn't have people on the newsletter. And you may go, what do? I had to highlight everybody in my entire division that was on the newsletter and say, look, Lone Star rocks. Where's our representation? These people are no better than us. They're not different from us. We just need to get on there. We need to contribute. The division's doing really well. It's not that we're not contributing, but we got to get on there too. We have to show that we're great reps also. You guys can do it. I know you can. Who's going to be on there? How many of us are going to be on there next week? And I remember that first fall when I was struggling. It took weeks for me to get reps on that newsletter. I talked about it every week. And making that thing so yellow from highlighting all the Lone Star representatives from all the other Lone Star offices. But we did it, and I had more and more people that kept coming back to the meetings, and finally we got people on the newsletter, and we started doing really well, because they just kept promoting that we were a part of the division that was doing well, and we were doing our part, but we weren't doing enough, and we got there eventually. But time into something. I blamed a lot of stuff on my DVM, and when I say blame, I blamed success on my DVM. I blamed higher expectations on my DVM. So it wasn't me. I was not the bad guy. I wasn't the one that said that they weren't good enough. And the DVM wasn't saying they weren't good enough either, but it was from a bigger perspective. Hey guys, we're doing well. We're getting numbers that we're supposed to hit, but we need to do more because the division has this goal, or we want to dominate this, or we want to win this, or we want to have this many more people on the newsletter, or this many more this or that, or whatever the case may be. But I blamed higher expectations on someone else, not because I didn't have higher expectations, and by the way, they didn't come from my DVM. They totally came from me. But it was easier to say, hey, Stacy wants us to blank, than for me to say, gosh, guys, we suck. We gotta pick this up. I like blaming things on someone else because it made it easier to build them up and get them excited. And it also got them tied into something bigger than themselves. It got them excited about the DV and